Scott, congratulations, mate.
Thanks.
How are you feeling?
I feel good. I'm really happy for these guys because, like I've said all along, and continue to say, we have high character guys that are just trying to build culture and do the right things and play the right way, and it's just the next man up kind of mentality. And yeah, we've got off to some bumpy quarters and bumpy starts, but their fight and their energy was fantastic tonight, and it's just one of those things where sometimes the grind and sometimes the journey of getting knocked around a little bit builds some character, and I think it's good for us.
Cold first half, you said you experienced some bumpy first halves and things like that. What changed in your mind in that third quarter?
Well, I think the biggest thing is our defense got much improved. I think it was 32 points in the second half we ended up giving up, which is kind of in our sweet spot of where we like to be. We just have to eliminate these big quarters, which we've given up quite a bit over the 4 games. They're hard to survive in general in this league. And I think just our intent in the second half to come and defend the island and be aggressive with our group and, just step up and individually step up and just do what we do, which is try to grind teams down. And in our home court, we need to start making sure that we're taking care of our home court. And they were really good in their response.
On the back of that, what does it say about this group? Lost your first 3, down 15 odd at the half, and to respond like that?
No, I mean, I'm obviously extremely proud of these guys. We invest a lot of time in these guys. They're all selfless human beings that are all in. Jet didn't play most of the second half, and he's up there on the sideline cheering, and it just shows you the character of the group we have. I think that's the foundational piece of this franchise moving forward. And, I know everyone wants us to be back in the championship, and it was real easy last year at some point or another, and it's not. The sports is a grind, and we have to go through some bumps and bruises along the way, and I don't know what this season will lead to, but I think to have the stability of really good guys involved in it right off the bat sets a tone for the entire state and for the people that we're trying to represent.
What did you make of Milton's performance? Obviously huge for you guys.
Yeah, he was fantastic. We had said, well, we didn't say it to him, but we had said the last 2 or 3 games he just needs to see the ball go in because he was getting some quality looks, and I think getting his feet underneath him, and he did start to see the ball go in. And when the ball goes in for him, he's quite creative off the dribble. He's very locked in with passing the ball and getting other guys involved. And I thought everyone was good. Shawnee Mack comes in and plays as hard as he possibly can for 20-some plus minutes, and he's playing for the Northwest Thunder. I mean, at one point, we had the Northwest Thunder out there with 2 imports on the floor, and it just goes to the credit of the culture these guys are building and the willingness to just man up and the next guy do his job.
I thought Jared Weeks hit some huge shots as well in the fourth and OT. What do you think?
No, he provided great energy and leadership out there when Jet came off, and he can space the floor because he can make some shots. I was really happy with Matt Kenyon to finally, I think I yelled at him somewhere along the middle of the third quarter, if you're not going to shoot, you might as well just come out. We trust him, and he's not a high volume guy, but he needs to get his shots up there to keep people honest, and it creates just more energy and balance for us. And so I was happy with the way he performed, and just everyone that got in there, did just enough of the little things to win.
Milton, congrats on your first win, mate. How does
Thank
that
you.
feel?
Feels great. I think we've been working hard. It feels good to just sit back and enjoy the win. So.
Obviously, you had your best game so far. How did that feel to see the ball go in?
Like Coach said, I got a couple good looks each game, but some of them are in and out. So now seeing the ball going in, hopefully it keeps going in and keep me rolling.
Scott, you mentioned there the players that you had in down the stretch and Josh Bridgette not playing as much late. How big is that in your game planning, in your philosophy, riding that hot lineup that got you back into the game and trusting those players?
Well, they know from day one when they came in last year, and they know from this year that everyone's treated the same. People's salaries are all different all over the place, but the responsibilities and their role amongst this team, I see them as the same. And there's no one ahead of anyone. And if you don't do your job and you're not performing, it's just the next guy up. And the difference, I think, with our group last year and what I will do as long as I'm here is that everyone's on the same page. There's no selfishness, there's no pouting. Those are the kind of things that will destroy a team. And again, it was great credit to Jet to be in there cheering and talking in the huddles and coaching, really. And it's just a credit to the group. But that's what I see a team is supposed to be, and I'm super proud of that. And listen, we're going to get beat up probably a little bit more along the way here, and I don't know what it ends up being, but I like our fight when we're doing the right things. We're very competitive when we are doing the right things. we've just got to eliminate a few of these quarters that we've had to just really bust games open, and it's hard for us to get back in.
You spoke about Jet in the huddle and having that coaching mentality. He did some coaching in summer league.
Yeah.
Do you see him having that mentality and the qualities that make a good coach later after his career?
Yeah, I think for sure he'll end up trying to either coach or be in some kind of front office role with somebody. I mean, that's why he went with the Spurs in the summer, to get a taste of that side of the ball when his career's over with. So I think that's the path he'll be on. This guy right here, you know, he told me the other day he wants to coach when he's done playing. So that kind of mentality is really good to have, because if you're going to be in that kind of mode, then you have to understand what unselfish team look like, the kind of players that you want to coach and be around. And those are the kind of guys that you want on your roster that are coaching the games and involved like that. So credit to both those guys. But yeah, I think Jed will be a coach at some point.
You're leading the league in offensive rebounding by a wide margin without Will Magnay. What do you attribute that to in terms of the fight that these players have shown each game?
Well, attribute the first thing, we're throwing up a lot of bricks, and we're chasing them down. But one of the things is kind of our shape and our predictable shots that we are getting, that we talk about, are there. They're not going in, and it allows us to go offensive rebound, which is a thing that we work on every single day, about going to the glass and doing that. So the predictability of those shots are hugely helpful, and just the energy and passion to go do it. And we force those guys, again, to be uncomfortable and do some of those things that maybe aren't, and tracking those balls down and our extra possessions, and we believe extra possessions eventually hopefully win games.
Thanks.
You got it.
Milton, I've just got one more for you, mate. Is this the sort of game you were hoping for, I guess, coming to the Jack Jumpers, being this sort of guy, and is this a performance you're hoping can sort of boost the rest of the season for you?
Yeah, definitely. I think everybody hopes for games like this where you get hot, score a couple points. A 30-point game is unbelievable for a lot of people. So if I could keep it going, it'll be great, hopefully.
Were there anything different that you did or the defense did different, or the shots were just dropping?
No, I think I've been pretty consistent with taking the open looks and giving what the defense give me, and playing off all these good players that we got and having them believe in me to just make some shots. So today it went in.
I think the other thing I don't want to jump in is the one thing I'll say about this group too is, you know, we had a heck of a 3 days to go to New Zealand and come back and then play this game at 2 in the afternoon. I came in this morning, not one person said anything about that trip or bitched and moaned about travel or bags lost or whatever transpired, because it all transpired for us. As again, just the credit to the kind of guys that are here that are just focused on trying to get better and do the little things. And again, it's not always sexy. It's not always the flash thing, the big dunks, or the things that people want to see. But it is a grit and grind, and I think that's what Tasmanian fans love about this team and the culture that they're building. But another great credit to our group just in general. If we would have lost, I would have said the same thing. There's just no bitching and moaning. They just go work, and that's all we ask of them.
Milt, your first win in front of this crowd, how did it feel?
It was great. The crowd brings a lot of energy, so just to get a win in front of them and have them feel good after a game. Last game we played terrible, so I never want to leave the building feeling like that and having the fans go home seeing that. So hopefully today they could go home excited and look forward to the next home game.
How does the energy compare to elsewhere you've played around the world?
It's better than all the places I played so far, so I love it.
Chris Mike?
Yeah, Milton. It's been a tough initiation to the NBL for you. Obviously, 4 games in the last 8 days. How have you found it so far? Has it sort of lived up to what you expected?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's kind of like the G League, reminds me of the G League with all the games coming so fast. But it's been a great feeling getting on the court and just getting out there playing.
Obviously, you now go to Adelaide and play on Thursday. A lot of talk and attention around them after what they did in Phoenix. Are you excited about that challenge now of taking them on?
Yeah, I think every team is a challenge, but with those guys getting a win against the NBA team, it's an even bigger challenge for us coming in and facing them.
Thank you.
Scott, Jack McVay hit a couple of big shots as well. What do you make of some of the big players?
Yeah, you know, Jack is one of those guys I trust immensely, and you got to believe every time they shoot the ball, it's going in. And I think he had, 3 or 4 that I thought were just in and just popped out on him. But I think the trust between me and him for sure is there, and that I believe when he's on the floor, good things are going to happen. And another good credit to him is, he's probably not played quite as well in the past on a kind of a back-to-back kind of game situation. But, he bounced back, made some big shots, opened up the floor again for us, and, just fought, and all of our guys fought, and it's a good credit to him.
Must have been nice seeing Rashad hit that icing three as well at the end.
Yeah, Rashad's been fantastic, really. He's just been doing it on both ends of the floor, and, my bad, really, these first 2 or 3 games is not getting him more minutes and trying to get him out there. We'll have to, think about how we get him out there longer for the 26 to 30 minutes that he probably really deserves out there, because he's been really impactful. He's played the 3, he's played the 4, he's been at the 5, he's guarded just about everybody on the floor. He's another guy that's just no nonsense and just kind of goes about his business. But I need to get him on the floor a little bit more.
On the back of that, what has sort of restricted those minutes? Is it just different lineups you're trying to?
Yeah, I think it's just the rotations and just figuring out my own way of trying to get these guys the correct amount of minutes out there. So I think it's just more on my part to make sure that I'm a little bit more conscious of getting him back on the floor. When he's playing all those different positions, it's hugely valuable to us, and it gives us more size and a little bit bigger athlete, obviously. So I just got to do a better job with him.
And just the last one, you must love the passion that Jack and Weeksy show when they hit those big shots. It really fires the crowd up.
Yeah, I think all of our guys, I mentioned that, I'm obviously a guy that thrives on some of that kind of energy, and I love to show it at the right moment, especially at home for us. And we have some guys, I think, that are very steady in the way they are, and I think letting out their emotion every now and then, especially when you're at home and you're in front of your crowd, is not a bad thing and excites the crowd. And I'm all about it, and it's part of basketball, and I love it.
Thank you.
All right, folks. Thanks.